Today we're going to do a quick video on just how I melt my chocolate for all the different things that I make. So I hope you enjoy this, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and ring the little bell on the top. That way you'll be notified at any time we're making a new video or something. So here we go. Okay, the first thing we do, I melt my chocolate with a double boiler. As you can see, it's got water in the bottom. You fill it up. You don't want to put too little or your pan will burn dry, and then that won't be good. The reason I use a double boiler is because I don't like to melt my chocolate in the microwave. You have to stop and stir every 15 to 30 seconds or something like that, and so otherwise your chocolate will burn, and then that's no good. So I've already put one package that I've already busted up. So I've got my water heating up on the bottom, and it's going to start. And you're going to need to have your coconut oil ready and waiting. So it doesn't really matter what brand you use or anything. That's just the Luana is the type I use. So I buy these big blocks of chocolate like this in white or milk chocolate, either one. And it's called almond bark. And they're kind of hard to cut. You can see they've got creases in them, but those creases are still really thick. You can see, like on here, you can see how thick they are. So if you want to just cut it with a knife, it can be difficult and, time consuming. So this is what I do, and I've already got one in there, but here's what we do. You take and you hold it in the middle, you line it up with that little crack there, and you just give it a good whack. See, and then it breaks it off there. And then you go down and hold it on the next one, and you hit it for the middle one. See? So then it breaks it off. And you flip it around, and you do the same. Okay? So then we're going to open this up. We're going to put these extra ones in here. Lots of times I'll stand mine up if I'm doing 2 packages. Just because you don't have to worry about one chunk sticking to the bottom of the pan or anything. And then you just dump any extras in there. And throw your package away. So it won't take very long for that to start melting, and then we'll just start stirring it every few minutes as it melts. Okay. So I like to keep my coconut oil on top of the stove before I'm going to use it, because coconut oil tends to harden, but if you keep it, this one's not been opened yet, so if you keep it on the stove, it'll stay in a liquid form, which is a lot easier to work with. So we're going to go ahead, and I don't use any specific amount or anything like that. I just kind of go by what I think. I would say probably about a cup, maybe a little less, because you can always add more. You can't take it away once you've added it. So, and you just kind of stir that around in there and let it just rotate. It won't take long to melt. And I use this type chocolate for my hot cocoa shots, any chocolate molds I use, chocolate covered strawberries. And the coconut oil, what it does, it thins your chocolate out a little bit and then gives it a little bit of a glossy shine. Because if you've ever melted chocolate, you know that it tends to get clumpy and everything like that. So this just takes care of that problem. So we're going to let it sit here for a few minutes and start melting. Get me a little plate here to put my spoon on. Or my spatula, I should say. We're just going to let it sit here for a few minutes. This will probably take, I don't know, about 10 minutes or so to melt thoroughly. And I like to, the good thing about using a double boiler, boiling water only reaches a certain temperature. So as long as you have water in the bottom half of your boiler, you're not going to have to worry about your chocolate burning. Now, if you just left it completely unattended and didn't stir it all, then yeah, it could possibly burn. So, and white chocolate tends to burn a little bit quicker than milk chocolate as well. So a lot of people don't know that either. And you can hear the water heating up. Just keep turning it and stirring it. I grew up with my aunt Annette melting all kinds of chocolate back in the early 80s. If you could make it out of chocolate, she did. She made the really cool 3D stuff where you take the two sides of the mold and fill it completely, and she made all kinds of good stuff. I always consider her the original baker in our family, that's for sure. And you can see everything's starting to melt. Today we're going to be making, after this video, we're going to be making some chocolate dipped raspberry rolls and some chocolate dipped cream cheese filled strawberries. So it'll be a nice little treat for the grandkids. If you have little ones helping you, make sure that you don't let them get too close to the steam and stuff, because as you can see, if you tilt it or anything, or as you're stirring it, the steam tends to escape and that can burn you. There we go. You can see how it's starting to melt really good. Got a nice smooth texture to it. While I'm heating it usually on, not completely on high, but pretty close. And then once it's melted, we'll turn it down and just let it simmer on low. And like I said, you can use, I melt 2 packages usually at a time, because I generally do larger batches of things. So Another thing you might want to remember is when you're doing this, make sure that whatever utensils you're using is thoroughly clean and dry, because for some reason, I don't know the science behind it, if you get one drop of water in your chocolate, it can make your whole batch seize up. And none of us want that, because then it becomes kind of clumpy and nasty, and no fun that way. So you can see it's almost all melted. We've got one more stick in there that's not quite melted yet. Just stir. And I like spatulas because you can scrape the edge as you're going. So, that's all you do, guys. When it gets through melting completely, you just turn it down on low, and if I'm going to be using it on another area that I'm going to be working on, I will generally put a towel down on the counter and then set the whole thing on it, because that way the water that's going to remain hot for quite a while, the steam from that water will keep your chocolate nice and warm. So, whereas if you just take the bowl by itself, it's going to cool down a lot faster. See, we've pretty much got most of it melted. Got one more little chunk still in there. But you can tell that really just doesn't take that long. So, you end up with a very nice, smooth, pretty chocolate. So, that is our video for today. I hope you like it, and I hope you have fun making whatever chocolate things you decide to make. So don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time with another video. Thank you, and have a blessed day.